You've got a product you love. You might have a business you love, and you're super motivated to go at it. But how do you talk about this? How do you translate this into something that people are going to see and understand what you're doing? Today we're learning about how to talk about what you create. Now you might be thinking, well, okay, so I've done all the other steps. I have a product that I love and I'm interested in and I totally identify with. I know other people love it and I know it's valuable. I'm also connecting it to a bigger picture and I know how to defeat resistance. This sounds pretty cool. Why do I have to brag about it? Don't actions speak louder than words? Well, no, actions can't speak at all. But actions do fuel words. You can't just talk about nothing. That doesn't mean anything. What you need is to do something that you're then able to talk about. And that's what we're doing today. Going back to our earlier example of TerraCycle, I'd like to give you a short story that I made up. Let's say that Tom Zaki had this idea for a completely organic, natural worm poop fertilizer that was going to be packaged in recycled bottles. It was going to help the environment. It was going to reduce waste. So he went and sat in his garden, he put worm poop into old trash bottles, and he set them on his shelf, and he didn't tell anyone what he was doing. Either people wouldn't have ever paid attention to him, or they would have looked and said, well, that looks disgusting. The thing is that Tom didn't let anyone else write his story for him. He had this idea, he knew what it was solving, and he went and told people. He said, I'm reducing waste. I'm emulating nature, in that nature does not even create waste. So I'm taking waste out of the world in a way that doesn't produce more waste. And people loved it. It became an amazing business that, like I said earlier, has partners in all different cities across the world. So the first thing you want to do when you're creating a business that you love and you want to talk about it is tell your own story. Tell people why you love your product. What's so great about it? Well, everything. You know that it's bringing value to the world. You know that it's bringing value to you specifically and people like you. And you know exactly how it does that. So tell people why you love it and how it works. Understanding your product and understanding you is going to help people get behind your idea, get behind your business, and back your product, love your product as much as you love it. The fact is that if you don't tell your own story, if you don't speak for your product and your actions, then it's likely that no one's going to hear you. And that would be a tragedy for a great idea that's actually unique, personal, and valuable, like we've already talked about. The next thing you want to do is tell people about the big picture problem that you're solving. When Tom was going out and marketing his product, he wasn't just saying, here's a worm poop fertilizer that I packaged in recycled bottles, no one else has done that. He was saying, here's a worm poop fertilized package in recycled bottles because it saves the environment. It reduces waste. It's completely natural and organic, so it helps the environment. He was telling people the big picture problem he wanted to solve, and he continued to do that as he expanded his business. And with each new product he came out with, including the zero waste boxes, which directly addresses his idea of reducing waste in the environment. He wants zero waste. And this is something that he always is talking about and making clear, the bigger picture of reducing waste. So when you're telling people about your product, you want to tell them the bigger picture that you're directly solving. TerraCycle has over 13 major partners, including Coca-Cola, Bic, L'Oreal, Colgate-Palmolive, and dozens of others that I can't remember right now. When you tell people about this big picture problem you're solving, then people from all over that big picture will come to back you. Thirdly, you want to specifically tell those people whose interests mirror yours, who are like you, and who your product serves in a specific way. The first reason you want to do this is because you're bringing value to them. It's an actual important and valuable thing for them to know about your product and be able to use it and back it. And then, as we stated above, people who have similar interests to you will be able to help you implement your product because they'll be able to back it in the same way you do. This is how TerraCycle was able to get so many major partners, because they were telling people about the bigger picture problem that it solved, and they were going directly and speaking to people with similar interests. Lastly, you want to tell people about your product for you. First of all, so that they know it's your idea that you identify with, that it came from your interests, because you really love this product. It's something that came directly from you. So you want people to know that and to connect you with that product in that way. Second, there's actually a massive benefit to talking about your product to other people. First of all, it reinforces everything that you learned about your product in the entire process of making it. If you have to go over how you created your product, what it does, what the value is, then you're going to be a million times better prepared for your next projects, and also in continuing to tell people about this. The more times you go over it, the more you'll set in your mind what the value is and understand it. So it'll actually bring you closer to your product to talk about it. You'll also remember all of the learning experiences you went through in building this product and putting it out there a lot better than if you never talked about it. That's a point that we'll bring up in the next video a little bit more and kind of flesh out why you want to get a good learning experience from building this product that you love. And the last thing that you want to remember when you're talking about it for your own benefit is that when you talk about the product that you love, it at least doubles the value immediately. And I'll tell you why. It's because, for your own reference, if this product doesn't work right away, or you want to go back and figure out what you did so you can continue doing what works, documenting it along the way will help you do that immediately and not have to redo work that you did before. It also allows other people to see how you did it and to mirror your success. Now, this isn't saying put everything out there so other people can copy it, but you want to put everything out there because what you're doing is bringing real value to the world and new ideas to the world. And they're going to be more valuable if other people are able to see them, see how you did them, and learn from your own success. Any new idea is always very quickly copied by other people who want to ride on that success. It doesn't mean that you need to be all up in arms about having been the creator, but it does mean that you want to talk even more passionately about how this relates to your interests and how it is uniquely yours. So what are a couple different ways that you can talk about your product online in an effective mode if you haven't done this before? When starting Technotunics, my boyfriend and I came against the same dilemma of not knowing where to start talking about our product. What we've been learning is that you can basically do anything. We started with a Facebook page and an Instagram, as well as our own personal website, and have been talking about our product through these social media sites, through advertising, through posts on our website. Even though that's mainly what we're focusing on right now for our business, there are many more ways that you can get your product out there. I would recommend starting your own website and blogging about your own projects so that you have a real record of what you're doing at what point in time, and you can easily organize it on a website. Another thing to do is use different mediums. For example, right now I'm using YouTube in order to talk about things that I've learned and a product that I've created. Another way to do it is podcasts. If you don't want to show yourself on camera, you can create a podcast series that allows people to listen while they're working to all of the ideas you've learned about. Another way, like I mentioned in advertising, is to create email funnels and to be constantly updating your fan base with emails sent out talking about the new things that you're working on and kind of giving them a sense in real time of your business and what value it's bringing to the world. So when you're talking about your product online, what do you actually say? Well, some starters would be project updates. If you're just starting on putting your product out there, put updates. Here's where my product is now. Here's what I've started advertising and where you can see us over here. Giving updates on the process and what you're currently working on allows people to know that you're still active and passionate about your project. You can also create tutorials online via blog posts or podcasts or YouTube videos, any number of ways. Another thing to do if you're at a loss is just talk about your product. What does it do? Who does it do it for? What value does it bring in the real world? Talking about your product will not only help you understand it, but will create a load of resources online for your potential customers to come and understand your product better without having to do a lot of research by themselves. And then, for when you want to really highlight what it is that you bring to this product and why people should specifically be listening to you, you want to talk about your own skills, what you're learning through this project, and what value you bring to your own product. The next and final video will be about how to use your current product, your current project, to spring load your efforts for your next product, for expanding your business. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching and have a great day.